in yourself. What do you see?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my new video where we're going to be going over 5 things that you probably do not know about Lux. And the first thing I wanted to talk about is even after the visual effect changes, when you are playing Steel Legion Lux, it is a little bit more difficult to really pick up on what skills are being thrown out by this skin. Obviously it's not as big as it used to be, but if you are one of those people that are looking to optimize every single percentage of win percentage, you should be playing this skin. It is relatively cheap and old. So first thing I wanted to talk about is how you are able to hide your Q within your W in this skin. It requires a very specific order of throwing it out. You do not want to be throwing out your W and then Q, because the Q will be trailing out so far behind of your W and it will not be hitting. However, if you are throwing your Q and your W at the same time, they are roughly traveling in the same area, and it will be harder to discern, particularly in team fights where there is a lot of crowd. Now, you might be saying, hey, Lowfit, people can tell by the animation that you are making that your Q is coming out even hidden behind your W. So how you look to abuse this is you just be QW and do it from fog, where people cannot see your casting animation. Just throwing it from a bush can really help you land a lot more of these Qs. People will start realizing, hey, this guy is throwing his Qs out just right where his W is coming, so you can start playing around with it a little bit. You can just start throwing out Ws without Qs, and you might get some mobility spells out of the enemy champions because they think there is a Q combined with your prismatic barrier coming out. So keep that in mind, and that will wrap up tip number 1 for Lux. Alright, and getting into tip number 2, we are going to be talking about the optimal combo that you can look to be throwing out with Lux, and how you want to be utilizing this is by taking full effect of both the duration of your root, lasting for 2 seconds, as well as the slow that is going to be coming out. So how we are going to look to do this, you can combine tip number 1, doing your QW into E, into R, and then after the root is done, that is when you proc your E slow, and the target will be slowed after the root. There's one thing that might change up the combo, and that is if there is a lot of burst prevention, shields, and heals on the enemy team. That is when you just really want to have all your instances of damage be landing at one time on the enemy target, just so you can burst them out before a shield or a heal can be applied. If you have any questions about this combo, you can hit me up in the comments down below, and that will wrap up tip number 2. Alright, and getting into tip number 3, a very, very strong part of Lux's kit is her ultimate's ability to pick off low HP targets that are looking to back off from a certain lane state. So, the number one thing that I want you guys to understand that I see as such a common issue that enemy low elo players have when they pick up Lux is that they are just looking to ultimate on the target as they are running away in this area. They are looking to dodge consistently here, as opposed to playing it smart, being a little bit more safe with your ultimate choices. You can look to duck off into Fog of War. They are assessing a lower threat. They are going to look to back, and then you can look to throw out your ultimate, and you are generally going to want to put them smack dab in the middle of the ultimate. However, with these long range picks, you can start staggering it to one side dependent on where they are. See, the wall is on the left side, so you want to stagger the ultimate to the right, so it's going to be near impossible without a mobility spell for the champion to dodge out on that ultimate. And then obviously the exact opposite with the other wall. Now, you always want to be looking to throw a straight line. You do not want to be giving them this little area to dodge. So whenever you are looking at them, you want to have it lined up with the enemy champion to give them the minimal amount of space to move to dodge out of your ultimate. So again, wait for the enemy to look to back off into Fog of War, and they will assess you as a lower threat, and wait for them to back, maybe catch them in the shop ready to purchase a item. They're maybe just spam clicking it, waiting for the back to finish. This is the perfect time to throw out your ultimate, and that will wrap up tip number 3. Alright, and getting into tip number 4, we are going to be talking about something that is particularly important for Lux support players, but is also important for the mid players, and that is the optimal range that you are looking to throw out your W and give the most amount of peel and shielding to your target in very important situations. And that is enemy targets at about this range, where when your W is thrown out, both instances are applied extremely quickly. How many times have you been playing Lux and you get ganked? Maybe this is a high damage jungler like a Zhao or a Lee Sin, locks in, and you throw out the W, and they are dying before the second part of the shield comes back. So I would argue that this is a lot better of a location to be peeling for this allied ADC that is looking to run away. First of all, you are able to line up your Q in a great direction on the enemy champion. Again, lining up with the wall and covering that really big swath of area is a great way to play it out. And then obviously making sure that they are right at the tip of your W, so you can apply 2 procs of the W as quickly as possible, giving them the most shielding and ability to really get out of the skank. And then obviously using your Q root and then your E slow to be peeling the other targets is going to be a great way to play these out. So always look to stand in the optimal range of that W when you are playing Lux and you have a hyper carry that you are really looking to protect. And that will wrap up tip number 4. All right, and getting into tip number 5, we are going to be talking about vision traps. There's absolutely no excuse for you to not have a control ward around the map, particularly if you're playing a high damage Lux build where you can just burst out an enemy champion that is looking to clear out a control ward. I have gotten untold amounts of gold and kills from just setting up vision traps, particularly in low elo. If you're in anything from iron to low diamond, you are going to be able to regularly get picks around these control wards. Tell your teammates to buy control wards and always look to play around them when there's nothing else to be doing on the map. You should just be looking for picks in these certain situations. The next thing I want to talk about vision that is really important for Lux, I see a lot of people do poorly, is they are looking, even though Lux is a absolute great objective stealer, they are looking in very optimal ways for their ultimate steals. How you want to be looking to play out ultimate steals is by getting vision with either control wards or using your E in a way where it's going to give you vision of the entire area. It stays for an extremely long time, so it gives you a 5-second window where you can look to throw out your R and attempt to steal a objective from the enemy team. Now, you want to be combining the E vision and you want to have the R instance of damage be coming out right with your E. So you want to be hitting E right as your R hits, and this is going to provide you with the highest percentage chance of stealing these objectives. If you guys have any questions for me on any of these tips, I'd love to help you out in the comments down below. Also going to have a pinned comment with a link to my Discord if you want to send me a direct message over there. I try to help you guys out as much as possible, even if it's something as simple as a build or a rune or even a OPGG review. I'd be happy to help you guys out. And as always, guys, take it easy.
No luck in your promo games? Not even one pentakill? Did your teammate rage quit? Feed the enemy team? Just jump over to turbosmurfs.gg and do like the pros, buy a fresh level 30 account. We offer high quality accounts and service that reflects in our 5 out of 5 star rating on Trustpilot. Not only that, but we also offer lifetime warranty on all our accounts and a daily loot box where you can win a free account. Link in the description.